everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 4 of Season 10 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. ThrashManiac99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Golden Corral 500 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, as we are getting set to go 49 laps of racing here at one of the fastest mile-and-a-half tracks we go to on the Walmart Cup Series schedule. So with that being said, before we look at the lineup, let's look at how the top 10 and the points look coming into tonight. Charles Sanford still leads the points, but by 7 points over Carson Gum. Third is Tanner Sullivan. Fourth is John Cittadino. Fifth is Chase Oliver. Sixth is Dylan Young. Seventh, DJ Curtis. Eighth, Pichu London. Ninth, Zach Rogers. 10th, last week's winner, Jesse Setti. So that's what rounds out the top 10 at the moment. And we are getting down to the wire to see who will get locked into the top 30 in points after race number 5 and who will have to qualify their way in. So this is going to get really interesting here tonight. So a lot can happen. But let's look at the lineup. Starting in the last row for tonight will be Seth Cole and Jesse Setti. Top 10 in the lineup, Tanner Sullivan is on the pole. Starting next to him is Charles Sanford. Row 2 will comprise of Kyle Matthews and Nathan Hudson. Row 3, Austin Mongold and Carson Gum. Row 4, James Richardson, James McLeod. And then row 5, Kevin Shearer and Dorian Facepuncher. So with that said, let's get the command to fire engines for the Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta.
Drivers, start your engines.
And Ellen DeGeneres returns yet again. "49 laps of racing here in this mile-and-a-half track where anything can happen. Pit strategy could be a thing. Maybe not. Maybe we'll see some big wrecks. Maybe not. But look at that front row. It's two candies right next to each other. Snickers and Reese's. Interesting how things work out. Excuse me. So this race could be quite intense as the night goes on, depending on how hard they're going to be racing here in the start of this event. And yes, it is official that this will be the final season that this series will be named Walmart Cup. Starting in Season 11, it's going to be renamed the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I just saw, you know what, let's try a new name and see how it works. But here we go. It is time to boogity 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 go racing. Well, Kyle Matthews leading lap number 1, but not for long, because now here comes Austin Mongold with a run to the inside. As we are watching from the spectator camera, because it's a nice, lovely view. Mostly double to maybe 3 wide racing going on. Almost 4 wide. I think they are 4 wide back there. Three wide for the lead as here comes... Oh, and the caution is out. Multi-car crash. Steven Guerrero, Austin LaPlante, Sean Galligan, David Rivera all involved. Oh, but we gotta keep our eyes up here. This could end really badly if they're not careful. Alright, they get it settled out, but who led that time? It might have been Michael Norman in the 3, and he does lead it. Oh, contact! And that puts Kevin Shearer into the wall. Oh, no! Under pacing, they crash. What in the world happened with that? That might have just caused this race to end up not going so well throughout the rest of the way. I don't know how to put it, but that was just weird. After the caution came out, they just decided to wreck each other. Cars are coming in the pit, but as far as who is staying out, Brandon Gonzalez staying out, so he will be the leader. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Atlanta. Well, I kind of had a feeling that this 4 wide wasn't going to plan out. Right there, Preston Plord gets up into Austin LaPlante, which ends up turning Sean Galligan, and David Rivera and Steven Guerrero were just innocent bystanders right there, and they just had nowhere to go. I don't think any of these cars are damaged enough to be retired out of the race, so I think they'll be able to keep going. I don't know, David Rivera got probably the most damage out of anybody in that crash. But now let's get up here to the front and watch the whole thing with Michael Norman unfold as we fast forward here a little bit. They just took the caution right there, and they should have started slowing down. But then again, they were running really hard, even under caution. And right there, Michael Norman just gets down into Gonzalez and sends him up into Kevin Shearer. And then Jessica Shelton on the apron comes back up in front of Tanner Sullivan, James Richardson, and Kevin Shearer gets up into the wall again. And then cars start to pile in. Some cars do a good job to avoid getting major damage in that mess. But that was just a bizarre incident under pacing. But Brandon Gonzalez is your leader. Let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Atlanta. Well, when we get back racing, no cars are out of the race, but Brandon Gonzalez is your leader. Second is P.J. Williams. Third is Tanner Sullivan. Fourth, Austin Mongold. Fifth, Chase Oliver. Sixth is Nathan Hudson. Seventh, Kyle Matthews. Eighth, Trent Dunham. Ninth, Carson Gum. 10th, Charles Sanford. 11th is James Qualls. 12th is Blaine Keys. 13th, Dorian Facepuncher. 14th, Joshua Collard. 15th, Chris Washer. 16th, Zach Rogers. 17th, Dylan Young. 18th, John Cittadino. 19th, Anthony McCrory. 20th, Johnny Gardner. 21st, Zach Flickinger. 22nd, Anthony Ritchie. 23rd, Matt McIntyre. 24th, Dougie Shears. 25th, Alex Ferranti. 26th is Michael Norman. 27th, Preston Plord. 28th, Seth Cole. 29th, Jesse Setti. 30th, DJ Curtis. 31st is Carson Scott. 32nd is Pichu London. 33rd is James McLeod. 34th, Jessica Sheldon. 35th, Tim Walsh. 36th, Dylan Thoreau. 37th, James Richardson. 38th, Kevin Shearer. 39th, Steven Guerrero. 40th, Austin LaPlante. 41st, Sean Galligan. And 42nd, David Rivera. Green flag is back out with 42 to go. Now that this is pretty much a single file restart, hopefully they don't get real crazy right off the gate. And so far it's just standard double 3 wide racing now starting to happen. Battle for the lead as here comes P.J. Williams with a run to the inside of the 23, and P.J. Williams is in desperation to get some good finishes tonight and next week at Bristol in order for him to get back into the top 30 in points, because he has had a struggle of the first 3 races this season. So he's definitely on the hunt. But now here comes Chase Oliver with a run to the inside. But now here comes Nathan Hudson with a run to the inside for himself. And now here comes Trent Dunham, shuffling everywhere as we look. 3 wide for the race lead. Trent Dunham with the inside lane. Tanner Sullivan, Brandon Gonzalez, Austin Mongold all trying to get back into the picture. as it's now less than 40 to go here in Atlanta. And as we look around, most of everybody else is single to double file. Most of the 3-wide actions taking place up towards the front of the field as Trent Dunham leads the way. Nathan Hudson right behind him. Tanner Sullivan, the pole setter, trying to get back up there as well. Meanwhile, here comes some stragglers from the back that are now up here in the front. Zach Rogers, Dylan Young, among many others. James Quall stuck in the middle. Not a good spot to be in. So, as a result of a lot of cars coming in the pit road under the last caution, you gotta wonder how the pit strategy will play out for all these guys. Trent Dunham continuing to lead. Nathan Hudson's still right on his tail, but Tanner Sullivan's right there to him. Interesting battles going on up here at the front of the field. Making for some great racing. Nathan Hudson might have some for the one, but he couldn't quite do it in time. As meanwhile, a battle for fourth was about to ensue between Austin Mongold and Zach Rogers. Rogers couldn't really get a move going. Dylan Young now trying to make a move under Zach Rogers, but he ain't quite there yet. Nathan Hudson's still working on trying to find a way around the one of Trent Dunham. As I continue to look around to see what all is happening around the field, and it's mostly settled out to mostly single file, with a couple spots of double or 3-wide racing, but not anything crazy. Trent Dunham still leads. Nathan Hudson's still tucked in line, same with Tanner Sullivan, as if it's a 3-car breakaway, but now Dylan Young now moving into the 4th spot. But now P.J. Williams going to move the 2 up out of the groove in order to make a run for himself. Brandon Gonzalez now going to make it 3-wide for 4th. Tanner Sullivan pulling out a line to maybe make a move underneath Nathan Hudson for 2nd. Breaking up that 3-car freight train that was starting to pull away from everybody else. Now they're all right to each other again. Anthony Ritchie now up here in the top 5. Where in the world did he come from? Dorian Facepuncher trying to get up there as well. As Trent Dunham still leading the race right now by nearly 0.3 of a second. But now they have caught the slower machines of James Richardson and David Rivera. This is going to probably cause some problems. I don't like the looks of this. But Dorian Facepuncher now gets to the lead. Now which lane is he going to have to go? He's going to go to the bottom to go by David Rivera to put him a lap down. Still clean and green, but for how long? That's the big question, because look at how bunched up the field has gotten now as a result. Dorian Facepuncher leads, but here comes Chase Oliver with a run to the inside. Zach Rogers coming hot on their trail. Same with Austin Mongold. Alex Ferranti and DJ Curtis, who restarted towards the back of the field, are now up here in the top 5, top 10 range. If they stay out for much longer, they might catch Sean Galligan within the next 5 or so laps, if they stay out long enough. Chase Oliver still leads, but now Dorian Facepuncher trying to get back up there. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd ensuing between Hendrick teammates Anthony Ritchie and Alex Ferranti, with Brandon Gonzalez going to now try and make it 3-wide again for that spot. Doesn't quite get down low enough to make it work, but Dorian Facepuncher retakes the race lead. And the caution is out again. Oh, we had a double car crash. Dylan Young, Dylan Thoreau. Oh, never mind. Jessica Sheldon, John Cittadino were involved. Perhaps it could have been another 4-wide situation gone bad, perhaps? Now the question is, are all these leaders going to come into pit road? We'll see, and will anybody stay out? And yes, it looks like everybody's going to come into pit road. I think I just heard some cars ram into each other. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, I thought I heard some stack up going on, although Jesse said he might have gotten in the back of somebody. As I'm trying to look for the 62, there he is, the leader in his pit stall. Is he gonna go 4 tires or 2 tires in gas? Looks like 4 tires in fuel. Might as well get the 4 tires so that way you can have fresh rubber to keep running on track. Oh, but this is a long stop. Oh no, this is going to really shape things up, and now he finally comes out of the pits. I think DJ Curtis was the first one to come out of the pits, so I think DJ Curtis is going to be your new race leader. So before we get back to the restart, let's look and see what brought the caution out for the second time tonight here at Atlanta. Well, this starts coming off of turn 4, and right there, Dylan Young comes down slightly in front of Michael Norman, down into John Cittadino. Wow, both of those cars took vicious hits into that inside safer barrier. And there you see the black smoke erupting from underneath the 2, definitely signifying that his night was over, for sure. Right there, a side swipe from Jessica Sheldon causes her motor to blow out, and then right there's a big hit. Dylan Thoreau just slams into the 2, and that's going to cause 3, maybe 4 cars to be out of the race as a result of a car trying to get in line but just wasn't having enough room to make it work. So with that said, let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Atlanta. Well, just as I expected, the 4 cars that are out of the race are John Cittadino, Jessica Sheldon, Dylan Young, Dylan Thoreau. Now, even though Sean Galligan's in front of the leaders, he is on the very tail end of the lead lap. But anyways, it looks like I'm only going to be able to go through the top 20 for this run-through. But DJ Curtis is your leader. Second is Kyle Matthews. Third is Chase Oliver. Fourth is Anthony McCreary. Fifth is Brandon Gonzalez. Sixth is Alex Ferranti. Seventh, Zach Rogers. Eighth, Austin Mongold. Ninth, Zach Flickinger. 10th, Carson Gum. 11th is James McLeod. 12th, Dorian Facepuncher. 13th, Carson Scott. 14th, Joshua Collard. 15th, Trent Dunham. 16th, PJ Williams. 17th, Seth Cole. 18th, Charles Sanford. 19th, Blaine Keys. 20th, Pichu London. And then, of course, the 2 cars on the inside lane there are the 2 lapped machines of David Rivera and James Richardson. Sean Galligan on the very tail end of the lead lap in 36. Green flag is back out as we are now past halfway. It is 24 to go here at Atlanta. DJ Curtis going to go by Sean Galligan to put him a lap down. Kyle Matthews with a huge head of steam on the back end of the 14. Chase Oliver with momentum as well. They can thank the slower machines of the 98 and the 6 for that, because they are holding up a lot of top contenders for this race. Looking on the spectator cam, DJ Curtis with the lead. Chase Oliver now going into the second spot. Oh man, that looks really wild. Double wide everywhere. 3 wide, a couple rows deep in the back. That might not end well if they're not careful back there. As I'm watching this, and it's all because of James Richardson holding up drivers. As we are still clean and green here at Atlanta, as the top three is broken away from everybody in the rest of the pack. Chase Oliver, DJ Curtis, Kyle Matthews is now Chase Oliver moves into the top spot again. Although Zach Flickinger and company are starting to catch up to the top three by a good bit. Chase Oliver trying to go for his first win this season. Don't recall how many it would be total in career wins in the series. But it is a lot. Kyle Matthews trying to get his first win of the season, and if he comes out with a good run here tonight, he'll be in the top 30 in points going into next week at Bristol, and if he can get a good run there, he'll maintain it, and he'll be locked in for the race after Bristol at least. And now everybody else from the main pack has caught back up to the top three, as Austin Mongold's going to make it 3 wide for second underneath DJ Curtis, Kyle Matthews. Brandon Gonzalez following up with them, same with Zach Flickinger. Pichu London trying to make a run underneath Alex Ferranti, and I believe that would be for the 8th position. Back up the front, Chase Oliver still leads as it's 18 to go here in Atlanta. As I continue to look on, Brandon Gonzalez now back on the back bumper of the 68. Then it's 3 wide for third as Pichu London making a run. But Alex Ferranti's trying to do the same, but couldn't quite make it work. Battle for the lead is on. Brandon Gonzalez with a run to the inside. Pichu London now underneath the 68 for second. But now Pichu might be going for the lead now. Anyways, Pichu London leads. Now here comes Alex Ferranti, now to second with Zach Flickinger following behind. This has been a rather good race, but also very intense at the same time, as there is a lot of shuffling going on for position right now. As it's 15 to go here in Atlanta, Pichu London leading the way. And look at guys who are now up here that we haven't really talked about a lot in this race. Chris Washer now in the top 10. James Qualls trying to make a run back into the top 10 as well, but he still got past a good amount of cars to make that work. Pichu London trying to go for his first win this season. Alex Ferranti in second there, trying to go for his first win of his entire career in this series. And this is only his second season he's ran in this series. Oh, but now they're about to catch the slower machine of James Richardson. This might not end well if they're not careful with him. But that brought the rest of the pack right back up there, but now a couple guys from the middle to high lane are going to get held up as a result of the 98 being really slow after that first caution. The next car they would encounter, if they catch up to him in time, would be David Rivera. And he's about to come off of turn 2. Meanwhile, the leader's just past the start-finish line. Battle for second as here comes Chris Washer run underneath. And Washer trying to extend his career record. If I recall, I think he's had 13 or 14 career wins. He's trying to go for 14 or 15. I can't really remember some of these things off the top of my head. But Pichu London's still leading the way, but the rest of the top 4 are right there. Washer, Ferranti, Trent Dunham now back into the picture. But Trent trying to use the high lane, and it didn't really work out too well for him. Now Austin Mongold's trying to catch up to the 1. Zach Flickinger trying to do the same thing. The same thing goes for Dorian Facepuncher, among many others trying to make a run for it. As it's less than 10 to go, and here comes Chris Washer with the run on the inside lane underneath the 17. Chris Washer trying to go for his first win this season as well. A lot of guys trying to get their either first win of their career or for the season. Charles Sanford now trying to get in the top 10 so he can try to keep the points lead going into Bristol next week. Alex Ferranti leads, but here comes Trent Dunham, but they're going to encounter David Rivera here at any moment, and that's really going to shake things up. You can see them, they are right there to the 6. Alex Ferranti, whoa! What a move there by the 25, and he's going to get the advantage, and he's going to have a bigger lead. Austin Mongold, Zach Flickinger get by on the low lane, so right now the car's getting held up. Or Dorian Facepuncher, Trent Dunham, and now more could get held up here soon. As Alex Ferranti leads the way at the time for the time being, Austin Mongold right there in second. Battle for third between Zach Flickinger and Chris Washer. Pichu London now entering the battle. Chase Oliver trying to get back into the picture. Carson Scott now in the top 10. James Qualls is there. Brandon Gonzalez, Charles Sanford. So many guys trying to make last-minute strides to get good finishes here as we are coming to the line to take 5 to go. Here in the Golden Corral 500. Ferranti leads, but Mongold is there, and he's got his teammate London right behind him. Man, usually in these races, I see those two relatively close together, or Pichu London and Dylan Thoreau. Oh, but Pichu gonna try to take second away from teammate Mongold, and now trying to go for the lead. Ferranti still has it right now, but now London with a run to the inside. Chase Oliver's now in the picture. Washer's still there, and more trying to get in there. Carson Scott, Brandon Gonzalez, Zach Flickinger, so many still trying to work their way up. But Pichu London now has the lead, and will be coming to take 3 to go when we get to the line here. So far the racing looks relatively calm at the moment, but up here at the front it's getting really dicey. But they're going to catch Sean Galligan, and that's going to really make things interesting. Because we will be coming to 2 to go here when we get to the line. Pichu London going to use the high lane to get by the 44. Alex Ferranti with the low lane. Who's he going to hold up? It looks like Chase Oliver and Brandon Gonzalez are going to be the 2 unlucky ones. But now they've caught James Richardson, another lap machine. DJ Curtis in the pit road. That could be a sign that some of these guys may not make it on fuel. Kyle Matthews is even on pit road as the white flag is being displayed for the 17 of Pichu London. But do they have enough fuel to make it to the end? They're hoping they can make it, and Pichu London, unless he runs out, I don't think anybody's going to get to him. And it looks like it's going to be all the 17 coming out of turn 4. Checkered flag waving. Pichu London wins the Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a stride, and after that last restart, Pichu London restarted around the back, got up to the front, and wins the race. That's going to be a huge points boost for him going into next week at Bristol. He came in 8th in points, so that's definitely going to put him at I would think, in the top 5. But let's look at the rest of the results. Chris Washer comes away with a solid performance in second. Zach Flickinger gets perhaps a career high of third, or I think, no, actually he did win last season. Never mind. Alex Ferranti was a dominant car at the end, but just came up short, comes away fourth. Solid run for Austin Mongold in fifth. Highest finishing rookie Carson Scott in the 29, finishing in the sixth position. Points leader Charles Sanford with a great run in seventh after a rather rough run last week at Vegas. Dorian Facepuncher with a great run in eighth. James Qualls, he has made the last 3 races, and he has finished in the top 10 in every single one of them. Great job finishing ninth. And the pole sitter Tanner Sullivan with a great run in the 10th spot. Rest of the top 20 was Trent Dunham, Chase Oliver, Preston Plord, Brandon Gonzalez, Michael Norman, Zach Rogers, Anthony Ritchie, Steven Guerrero, Carson Gum, Dougie Shears. Rest of the top 30 was Anthony McCrory, Seth Cole, PJ Williams, James McLeod, Johnny Gardner, Nathan Hudson, Blaine Keys, Joshua Collard, Matt McIntyre, Jesse Setti. The cars that finished the rest on the lead lap were Kevin Shearer, Tim Walsh, and Austin LaPlante. The next 5 cars finished a lap or more down. Kyle Matthews, DJ Curtis, Sean Galligan, David Rivera, James Richardson. And the 4 cars that were out of the race after that last caution were John Cittadino, Jessica Sheldon, Dylan Young, and Dylan Thoreau. That does it for our coverage tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Next week, we head to Bristol for the first of 3 races for our new tradition, the Tennessee Trifecta that we did last season. It returns this season. First Bristol for the Food City 500. Then the week after will be, or actually no, next week is actually Martinsville. Never mind. First time, I think, ever we're going to Martinsville. That's going to be rather interesting. And then after that's the Tennessee Trifecta. Bristol, then Tennessee Superspeedway, and then Nashville Superspeedway. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the Golden Corral 500. Here are your points, rookie points and results after tonight heading into Martinsville. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.